Where the leader in Ukraine, I mean, I hate to say it, but he's down at 4% approval rating.
Unfortunately, he lives in this disinformation space.
President Zelenskyy sits in office after duly held elections.
Russia-Ukraine peace talks have taken several major turns since U.S. President Donald Trump took charge. Following President Trump's latest remarks on the Russia-Ukraine conflict, UN spokesperson Stéphane Dujarric said the Ukrainian leader sits in office after duly held elections, countering Trump's narrative that Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is unpopular and a dictator.
In the light of recent remarks by U.S. President Trump, does the Secretary General see Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy as a dictator?
President Zelenskyy sits in office after duly held elections. Michelle.
On that similar note, who does the Secretary General believe is responsible for starting the Ukraine war?
Well, if you rewind the tape, we just talked about Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Dujarric further went on to hold Russia responsible for starting the Ukraine-Russia war. In his post on Truth Social on February 19, President Trump referred to President Zelenskyy as a dictator without elections. While speaking at Mar-a-Lago, Trump also called Zelenskyy unpopular in his country. These remarks followed heightened headlines about growing U.S. Russia closeness, with Trump praising Putin's role and intent in negotiations.
A situation where we haven't had elections in Ukraine, where we have martial law, or essentially martial law in Ukraine, where the leader in Ukraine, I mean, I hate to say it, but he's down at 4% approval rating.
In response to the allegations, President Zelenskyy outright rejected the statements, claiming that his 4% approval rating was nothing more than Russian disinformation. He also warned that any attempt to replace him would fail.
Unfortunately, President Trump, who we respect a lot as the leader of a nation that we really respect, the American nation, who supported us all the time, unfortunately, he lives in this disinformation space.
The war of words between Trump and Zelenskyy comes after a phone call between Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin last week, which upended U.S. policy of isolating Russia over its invasion of Ukraine. Earlier, President Zelenskyy also expressed his disappointment at not being invited to the peace talks held in Saudi Arabia between the U.S. and Russia regarding the Russia-Ukraine war.